Hey, all RB here, and just recording this video because I think we are at a kind of critical point where things either can go in either direction. Basically, I've been looking for a dip to get back into the longs in SPX, but haven't been able to since the rally is non-stop and we are making gap ups every day. And today, if we see SPX actually broke above the previous high and closed above it. Though looking at SPY volumes, they were barely, two-thirds of the normal average of 10 days. So it's hard to say that this breakout is real or not. And with the BOJ decision coming in the next hour or so, will there be a reversal or in the morning with PMI? Right? Can't say that for sure. So given that, kind of keeping options open um, for now, right? So if the baseline is that if this breakout is real, this is gonna hold, right? If this is gonna hold, then what we are looking at is that okay, if this was 1 and 2, which was certainly was, we're already above somewhere about 261%. Then next level, which makes sense, would be somewhere here in the 6160 6170 line range, right? So that would be somewhere my target for this wave, and the way to count this one is that we have this 1 and 2, probably a 1 2 3 4 5, or a 1 2 and a 3 is still going. There will be a minor 4 and a 5, something like that, right? But I'll complete this here, and 4 and 5. Right, let's just put the count in between two so that's clear. That's 1 2, right? So 3 will complete here and then another one, right? So something like this, right? So again, very stretched. I mean, 361% is too much for a wave three. Generally, I prefer it somewhere between 200% at the max 261%. 161% is always idle, but we tend to do something more than that. So 200% is a good mark. 261% is extended. This is super extended right now, right? So this goes up. We kind of test 6160. But my whole point is that with this rally, uh, this overall count kind of finishes, right? So my 1 2 3 4 5 is done. Let's say this takes a little bit of time here doing this wave four. Maybe probably next week we have earnings coming up, so we'll have this dip, then probably a rip. So let's say it goes up to maybe Feb, a few days into Feb, maybe Feb 3 or 4, something like this to make the stop. Which means by the time the earnings are done, the stop will be in, and kind of looking at a larger retracement post that, right? Because then I don't think then we are looking at, after making this sort of a high, we probably are not looking at doing another nesting here where this comes here and then we just keep on going. Highly unlikely. I think these two legs will be similar in size. What we had here, and we'll probably have a similar leg here, right? So I don't see this going beyond a certain range. Somewhere around 6300 at the max if this five keep extending as well, right? But not something into 6800 or something like that. And this is where my other scenario had a little different look and thoughts behind it. Especially when I say that there are many stocks which are in wave five and they need time to complete that wave five, right? We cannot expect indexes to start selling off and then cryptos are going on, right? So thinking about that, I mean, this made more sense to me that ideally I was looking at pullback starting 60-30, 60-20, 60-30 from this particular gap, right? But it kind of pushed like another 100 points, which is kind of something I missed. And but if we get this dip, this kind of gives me a renewed path here where we can have a little bit of more uh, time to actually complete um, other things. Like I said, Bitcoin has a 30 to 40% kind of a move available there. And if this kind of finishes in 2 weeks, I don't know if what will happen with the cryptos. Right now, if you go back and see, let me just conclude that, right? So this is basically a fifth wave. I'm looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So now if you just go and see and compare it with the Bitcoin, that's all what Bitcoin is doing, right? So we had this one rally, tested the top, and now it's been just working on this wave too. Will it give a dip of 97K, which is what I've been looking for? Probably if we get a dip overall, can even do lower as 95, 96K as well, right? And then everything kind of just starts to move together. All right, that was something which I was keen at, and it kind of made sense. But like I said, if there would be another case for SPX where it continues, then I think that something is gonna come up where either Trump announces something which is gonna give it a pretty good spike, right? Sharp spike into 130K or so that it kind of completes this wave three sooner than later, and we get a nice pump across MSTR, coin, and everything to just kind of rally along, right? So if you look into coin, I mean, it's kind of holding up really well at this breakout area. Maybe a small dip if that's gonna come, and and then kind of go along the Bitcoin, right, to make that final high, and complete this wave count, right? So these are a few things. I just want to see how they kind of align. They certainly need some kind of a catalyst to move in that direction, and and they all kind of kind of top together at that point of time. So let's see which scenario plays out. If 6100 doesn't break anymore and we are going to 6160 tomorrow, then it's certainly bullish, and the next retest of 6100 is a buy again, right? So from 6100 to, again, you will have a rally somewhere into 6250, 6300. So that's another 200 points to capture. So if you missed 100 points in between, we missed. But I would be looking forward to capturing those 200 points at least, and yeah, that's about it. The other thing that we kind of to notice is that what's going on with Mag 7. So pretty much, if I look into all these seven stocks, Apple, my perspective has been that it's only gonna bounce partially. Probably they're gonna delay it into the earnings, and if there is a pop, it might pop into this 241, probably maybe 247 or something like that. That's possible. That we get that earning kind of a move up here, since it's been kind of sold a lot. Um, right? And I do not have any other expectation of making a new high or anything like that from here, right? And if it comes to 241, 247, I think all we're gonna see is just a dip after that, right? So that's Apple. Amazon, from my perspective, is getting close to making that final high, right? Somewhere around 240, 245. I think I will probably look for some sort of shorts in this one, right? I do not expect earnings to just keep pushing it higher and higher, but earning may be the catalyst where the next leg down can potentially start. So that's my opinion on Amazon. Google, it's kind of closing on to that wave five. Not a lot of runway there because the wave one was kind of long here, and then we're looking at this three and four consolidation, and a fifth wave here, right? So not again a lot of runway, maybe another $10 that we're looking to do. That's all. Meta is pretty similar, a rising wedge here, and I think if was my wave 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we are just looking at into the last one to create this fifth leg. again, earnings will be the catalyst where things can shift in this one, right? Or probably make this final high and then push it higher here into 680, maybe push it higher later a little bit into 700, do overthrow and then just come back. So, but very close. I mean, there is not a lot of fuel that I feel left in these names. Microsoft has been sideways all along. Let's see, it does a double top or it starts from here, but again, a very choppy moves. Really, unable to make a meaningful count here. The only way it could be, a leading in the coming time with the investment that it's making in AI is that uh, kind of looking at this as trying to create a three-wave structure here where this was one, we had a two, probably make this another third wave and the fifth wave, something again like a making like a rising wedge or something like that, right? So that's a possibility if if the earnings gives a push. I do not have any short positions at this one, but neither I don't want to do any longs right now based on how the structure is. Not very clear. Can go either way, right? Nvidia, we know that it's another rising wedge here, right? So many rising wedges if you see in most of these mag sounds, which do tell us that we are close to the top. Do not expect this to keep on going. Now, like I said, in both my scenarios of SPX or both my scenarios of SPX, where we first take a dip and then keep pushing higher, or we just complete this just after the earnings in next 2 3 weeks. These are gonna make a top. They kind of align, right? Can they take a little bit more time to align with scenario one? Yeah, they can, right? So they have been chopping anyway for last many months. So that's that. And Tesla is one where again, let's see when the earning is in 6 days, right? And it didn't go as sharp as we wanted to make this wave five, and this is a demand zone. So it's likely that we get another test of this demand zone. 360, will it happen during earning? Maybe. And then we get one rally, maybe the same day or next day reversal. Something happens maybe after the earnings call or whatnot. But the next wave starts and we complete this 1 2 3 4 5, right? And post that, again, it's going to drop back into either 300 or into a 270 kind of a range before the next cycle begins. So as you can see, I mean, a little bit of upside on all of them, kind of aligns with what we are thinking in terms of the count with the indexes. Now it's just a matter of what path the indexes take and how soon or how soon we kind of make the top there. That's all. Hope this helps, and I've detailed the count in the post, so you can refer to that with the levels. But again, like I said, if bullish, 6100 needs to hold. If it starts cracking below 6100 from SPX standpoint, the next one is 6070, 6050, and below that is just 6,000, right? So pretty clear from that perspective, and let's see what we get tonight. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye bye.